I have found some really cool stuff this summer yard sailing. This is a compilation video of the last 3 weeks I've went out. Well, it's been a very busy summer and it's made the yard sale season kind of suffer. I've bought a house. My one daughter has had soccer on Saturdays. My other daughter's got karate, but I've still tried to make it to as many yard sales as possible. But it's made for shorter videos, so I thought I'd do a bit of a compilation video for the past 3 weeks and show you some of the stuff that I spotted. As you can see, I'm still seeing all kinds of cool stuff like the Fisher Price football or Little Tykes football toy box, some dinosaurs, Sailor Moon, Stephen King stuff, and a lot of the stuff that I've found has made it onto the site or into shorts. This was a pretty good find from a couple weekends ago, a first edition, first printing, Duma King by Stephen King. And if you haven't read that book, I strongly suggest it. It's one of those books that I avoided reading for the longest time, but once I did read, it was actually pretty good. I'm a big sucker for VHS tapes. I'm sure you all know that after you've watched the channel. And picking up Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the sleeve was a good find. This lady had a whole collection of Webkins. Talk about something that didn't take off. They thought those were going to be Beanie Babies, but unfortunately, they did not get as popular. This was a whole table of Pyrex, and I had to pick up these. I think they're called Cozy Cottage, or forget exactly the name of them, but those are iconic with the mushrooms on them. This was a nice yard sale as well. It had a bunch of board games. Ended up grabbing Transformers Risk and Transformers Star Wars The Clone Wars. They had all kinds of stuff, and it was a charity sale, so you could donate however much or how little you wanted, and you would get what you wanted. So I obviously gave them fair price for what they wanted. That is a look at some of the stuff that I had picked up that day yard sailing. You can see that Fisher Price house in the back there. Peyton actually found that at a yard sale and scooped it up for $10, and it was in pretty good shape. Didn't have any of the figures, but it was in amazing shape, so she did pretty good there. This whole bin of stuffed animals, but unfortunately right now I have a bit of a stuffed animal moratorium. I am not buying stuffed animals because I have too many. This yard sale I went with Everly, had all kinds of dolls and even some video games. I did manage to scoop up The Last of Us, and I think I also picked up a little Big Planet 3 here. Yeah, those are the two that I grabbed there. And there was also a Mass Effect game at that same yard sale. Now, this is pretty cool. It's the entire Star Wars trilogy in a hardcover novel. And then, I'm going to pick up Fisher Price stuff. This is going to be a short soon. It's from the Fisher Price airport set. And there was also the mail truck and a couple cars. I think it was like 10 cents or 50 cents a piece in the bin. They also had a pretty sweet Kool-Aid cup and this Cedar Point Mantis mug. I remember when the Mantis came out, terrified me. I did not want to go on it, but cool to see. There was also a bunch of little Pokemon card stuff at this yard sale. The pricing was a little bit higher than I wanted to spend at yard sales, but he did have some pretty cool figurines like this Reshiram Charizard, so I scooped that up as well. Finally, story time. For the past 3 years, Peyton and I have driven by this house that had a yard sale 3 years ago where it was like a picker sale. He had like just bins of like random junk all over his yard. I mean, it was everywhere. And we found so many good things in this guy's yard sale back then. And we've always wondered if he was going to have another one. Well, it took 3 years, but he did. And I didn't know he had it on a Monday. And so Peyton called me. She was at my mom's house. And she said, "Dad, that guy's having the yard sale." So I picked her up and we went and checked it out. And we're glad we did because we found this whole box of Pogs, that Batman comb, the Small Soldiers cards. There was even more stuff here. The Pogs were the big get out of it. But as you can see, buried in a bin, covered in dirt, the Fisher Price Happy Apple. You had to really like dig through all these bins to find stuff. This sweet Halloween blow mold ghost. I think I paid $10 for everything. Here's a Tiger Electronics laser tag laser. Just that piece alone's worth about $10. So there was just so many like random things. You had like washers and like brushes beside toys. You had controllers, video game controllers from back in the day. So this guy has like pretty much everything, just must buy all kinds of stuff and has just too much. And he said he was going to have one more before the summer's out. So I'm hopeful that I can go buy that and maybe pick out some more stuff. And then finally, I believe this is the last weekend of yard sailing. The Little Tykes people with the fire truck, a bunch of media, DVDs, VHS tapes, 8-tracks. And these 8-tracks are actually in good shape, which are always cool to see. Cheap Trick. And over here you had comic books. Now I look for more of the Marvel DC. This is more Gold Key and Archie. Still pretty cool to see all these old comic books. Just take a look at some of the titles. Beetle Bailey, War Heroes. And over here, let me know when you spot the thing that, I would have got it, but I ended up passing on it. But I have two already. That's why I didn't get it. So you'll see it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, what right here do you think I would have purchased if I didn't have it already? I'm pretty sure that you know it was this. The Fisher-Price hand movie viewer. And it actually has a movie in it that I don't have, Snoopy and the Red Baron. So it took a little bit of restraint not to buy that. I should have bought that Star Trek or Star Wars cup. It's from 2004. I actually thought it was one of the vintage ones, but it's from 2004. A couple really cool Jurassic Park dinosaurs there and some Star Trek stuff. I did purchase this Barbie Country Camper. If you've been watching my channel recently, you'll know that it became a short. Look at how dirty it was. It cleaned up so nice. Then there was just some more boxes. You've got the Fisher-Price little Snoopy in there and this toilet that actually flushed. And the Pillsbury Doughboy's wife from the old commercials. I'm a sucker for old cameras, and something about the old Polaroids is just so cool to see. They almost look like they're Transformers. They look like they're going to transform. This guy also at that same yard sale had a bin full of Lego. Nothing that really jumped out at me. There was one bag that had a bunch of vintage Lego in it. This one right here, but no figures. So I kind of just passed on it anyway. It looked like there might have been like 1 or 2 newer figures inside. But it was a pretty good deal in terms of Lego. I think he wanted like $5 a bag, which you could part that out if you wanted. I'm kind of getting out of the Lego game because it's too much for me. This is the end of this week's compilation of yard sales. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know some of your favorite finds that I came across. And this next weekend coming up is going to be one of the biggest yard sale weekends of the year. So I hope that you'll tune in for the next video as well. And if you've made it this far, you are the MVP. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.